Hi friends, it's Jenna. I am going to try and keep this short, but I do have some stuff I want to talk about that I'm still kind of working out. So this is a talky blog, not a blob, something else entirely. So in the last couple of months, I've had to deal with some hard truths. And at one point I was very low, like very, very low, like YouTube isn't gonna let me talk about it kind of low. But before I get there, I was having an argument with my brother about money, the thing most people argue about, right? And he said to me, "Your dreams are not coming true." Yeah. When I was in college, I'm very depressed. I was sent to the school's counseling office for an initial intake, and that was one of my fears that I mentioned to the counselor, that none of my dreams would come true, and they haven't. I didn't get the PhD, I didn't get married, I don't have any children, I'm not a best-selling author, all that sort of thing. And since my starting in late 2023, I had a little money, an inheritance from my mother, and tried to make writing into my full-time job. But that didn't work out very well either, largely because I had no idea what to do. I feel like I know more now than I did a year ago. Not that either of it does me a whole lot of good. So I've had to come to some decisions. And my big decision is that I am not going to try being a full-time writer for now. Probably for the foreseeable future, but at least for now. And pursue something else as a full-time job instead. And this is hard, because all I've ever wanted to be since I was a child was a writer. But on the other hand, if I can do something else for a living and write in my spare time, then I can possibly write more, because I'm not worried about what's gonna sell and what's not gonna sell, and all the questions that you can get hung up on. And just write for fun, maybe write for free. I used to write a lot of fan fiction. Miss Lucy Jane at Archive of Our Own at the very least. There's more out there, but that's where it's centralized right now. You do have to be a member to see my stuff, because thanks AI. But anyway, so it's not an announcement or anything. It's not a big dramatic "I'm leaving" sort of thing, because I'm not, and that's not me. But though the palm to the forehead is kind of fun. Oh, it's so hard, darling. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Anyway, starting soon, I guess. There hasn't been a whole lot of prolificness from me anyway in the last while, just because of everything being kind of a dumpster fire, not just like the world in general, but also my life, which is not conducive to creativity. So stuff that I've talked about, I'll try and finish some things that I've got outstanding right now, but my priority has to be supporting myself and doing something that I can actually support myself doing. So yeah, when there's book announcements, I'll make them, but don't expect anything too much for the next 6 months to a year, I guess. And it kind of hurts to have to make that decision and admit it. But on the other hand, I have to be realistic. And there's no white knight coming to whisk me away into the life of my dreams. As it is, I'm safe, I'm sheltered. I'm living in a beautiful house right now with my older sister and her husband and some other family members, which I think is something they did not expect, but you know what they say about life happening when you make other plans. And I'm just very grateful to my sisters, who are always the ones who give me a soft place to land, you know what I mean? So, the last time I cried was when I had to rehome my cat. Because it was like giving up my child. And this is just life being what it is, I guess, yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening. We'll talk again.